A lot of times we spend time communicating what makes a good remodeling contractor, but I guess I kind of want to flip that around and treat it as what makes a good client or a good customer to do a remodeling project with. And I've just kind of come up with 4 quick things that we look for, who from our past experience make for a good recipe to work with a good contractor to end up with a successful project. So the first one we've got is realistic about their expectations. And I would kind of say somebody that's pretty good about rolling with things, that a lot of times remodeling, I often say remodeling is an emotional experience. Things are gonna happen, surprises will happen, and so we need to figure out how we get through that. We may not have plan A work, so let's come up with plan B. Second thing would be communication is huge. Well, one thing that we really value about communication is honesty. And if we're working through a project and you're seeing something that you're just not feeling comfortable with, then we want you to speak up and say something to us. Because what we don't want to have happen is get to the end of the project and we haven't honored what your thoughts were for the project and what that's going to be. It's a whole lot easier to get something corrected when it is going on, typically in first parts of the project, rather than waiting until the end. Being able to effectively communicate even when things are really emotionally on edge. It is, like I said, it's a relationship, and it's important to be able to communicate the good things as well as the things that are really tough to communicate. And doing that in a way that we can come together, share where we're at, and then try to work towards coming up with solutions. That's really key. A lot of times people can get that part. It gets difficult to communicate those difficult things, and they can store that up, and then something can explode later on in the project. So having those lines of communication is immensely important. Third one would be a good decision maker. And what I mean by that is just thinks through with us about the options and how that's going to affect things. I mean, we are big believers here at DreamMaker in making all of our decisions, or as many of our decisions as possible, before we actually start the project. And that's really important. So to be able to make those decisions and then be confident in those decisions and move forward with those. Doesn't mean we won't necessarily change or tweak something mid-project, but just to feel confident in that rather than second guessing ourselves the whole way through the project. And then the last one would be just want to have fun with the process and work together with us as the remodeling experts to collaborate. We don't want to be a high maintenance design team. We want to work with our clients, listen to our clients, and ultimately come up with solutions that are going to result in a successful project that they're going to enjoy for years to come. So those are a couple of things that we've come up with that make great clients for us to work with towards a successful project.